has led me here to share my deep truth with you. It's time. I've been an ordained United Methodist pastor for 25 years. At last, I am choosing to serve in that role with full authenticity, as my genuine self, as a woman who loves and shares my life with another woman.
So today we have this story from the prophet Ezekiel. Now the people in Ezekiel's time had been abandoned and they had been in exile. God raised up the prophet Ezekiel to encourage them, to give them a word of hope. And so Ezekiel tells
I don't think the institutional church realizes how hurtful they are to homosexual people when they come across so harshly on that issue. And a lot of homosexual people are saying, well, what's wrong with us? Aren't we accepted and loved too? Can't we be a part of this community?
the mustard seed, the smallest of all seeds, allows this great big bush to grow that the birds of the air can nest in its branches. Blackbirds and bluebirds and brown birds and parakeets and canaries, and you got orioles and ravens. Oh, hey. You got gay birds and lesbian birds. You got gay birds? Yes. Oh, they're gay. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're gay birds.
All your friends are here.
Uncle Ned.
Alle deine Freunde sind da.
Oh, you like...
Yeah.
Oh, look how beautiful. Hey, Ruru.
Oh boy. So schön ist das.
And it's also a place for us to dedicate Rosie to God.
So now, New Parents and Godparents, is it your will that Rosario and Louisa should be baptized in the faith of the church which we have all just professed with you? Yes. Yes? Okay, great. Come on up. Rosario and Louisa, I baptize you in the name of the Father and of the... You never want the priest to say, oops. And of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
It's important for both of us that Rosie grow up in a church and know that, that's our belief system.
the border region between India and Myanmar early Monday morning. Reports continue to vary, but according to the Associated Press, citing local police, the quake has killed at least 4 people and injured 50. The US Geological Survey says the 6.7 magnitude quake hit India's northeastern state of Manipur at 4:35 a.m. local time, with its epicenter located some 30 kilometers northwest of the state capital, Imphal, at a depth of 55 kilometers. We'll bring you more updates on this story in our later newscasts as the story develops.
Australia has sweltered through one of its hottest years on record, with below average rainfall across the state in 2015. And as it released a snapshot of the past 12 months, the Weather Bureau has revealed there is relief in sight.
From the devastating Sanson Flat and Pinery bushfires to early spring storms hitting the eastern suburbs and hills, South Australia's weather left its mark in 2015.
Latest on those unfolding terror attacks shortly, but first, one man is dead and several buildings have been destroyed as sweltering conditions made way for severe afternoon storms that tore a violent path from Sydney's southwest right through to the CBD.
A 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck northwest China's Qinghai province early on Thursday. But fortunately, only one person was slightly injured. The tremor jolted the county of Menyuan just after 1 a.m. Thursday. The epicenter was 10 kilometers deep underground.
As you can see that the plane have just de-iced and ready to take off. And we have been told by the airport that today there are over 20 flights have been cancelled due to the heavy snow. And there are also some dozens of flights have been delayed. We know that during the past few hours the snow has been continuing, but because of the temperature is not below zero, and those snow have been melted into ice and water. And airport staff have told us that there are about 600 people who have been ready to clear and remove the snow on the plane.
Where an earthquake hit about an hour and a half ago. Ellen's in the tracking center with that and your forecast. Ellen?
Yeah, Evan, Coco, we go from the East Coast and the storm system there to an earthquake on the West Coast. It's near Anchorage, Alaska. So if we take Storm Track Live Full, you can see where this actually is. We plotted it for you. So this actually plots all of the earthquakes. Every little red dot you see is an earthquake. And you can see that giant bullseye there. That's in Alaska, just southwest of Anchorage, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake, which is fairly large.
6.3 on the Richter scale affected areas on the north coast of Morocco and the south of Spain in the early hours of Monday morning. The epicenter of the quake, which happened at 4:22 a.m. local time, was in the Mediterranean Sea between Spain and Morocco, and by 8 a.m. a total of 9 aftershocks have been registered, the strongest of which measured 4.5 on the Richter scale.
One from West Palm Beach, the other from Palm City, were caught in that tornado in Broward County yesterday. The Florida Highway Patrol says the tornado touched down on the Coconut Creek Parkway ramp. The driver from West Palm Beach was in a box truck which flipped. The driver from Palm City blown into the path of another car. A total of 6 cars were caught in that tornado. The National Weather Service says some wind gusts reached 90 to 100 miles per hour.